AITA. Am I the a-hole for letting my daughter drop out to become an influencer, because she has a trust fund? 13 years ago, my family won a wrongful death lawsuit for the death of my husband, and as part of the settlement, my daughter gets access to a trust fund when she turns 21. The trust fund would give her almost $40,000 a year, until she turns 30. I feel like that's a lot of money for someone that would be 21 when it starts coming in, so she's more financially secure than a lot of kids. My daughter's known about this since she's been in elementary school. Since then, she's gotten really popular on Instagram and TikTok as a dancer and singer. But at the same time, she's really been struggling in school, socially and with the work. She's been held back twice, so instead of graduating in 2022, she will be graduating in 2024. She is 16 right now, and my state allows students to drop out at that age. However, my daughter's ex-stepfather of 10 years is very much pro-education, and even though he doesn't have much legal parenting decisions anymore, he talks to my daughter a lot. He's furious that she's even considering hanging out in LA with other influencers, and calling it a job. But my daughter's ambitious, and also wants to do some mainstream modeling and acting. She also says she needs all day to devote to influencer collaborations, and getting ready for events/creating new content. We started speaking with school authorities this summer, but since school starts very soon, we had to make a decision. Against her ex-stepfather's protests, I signed off on the decision 2 days ago, and she's officially no longer a high school student. AITA? Am I the a-hole? We all know that she has financial backup the moment she turns 21, and I don't see how keeping her in something she hates and finds boring is better than letting her do something she's passionate about. YTA. You're the a-hole. 30 is young. At 30, your daughter is going to have little education, no employable skills, and probably no money left. YTA. You're the a-hole. Are you going to support her for the next 5 years until that money starts coming in? Being 16 to 21 with no high school diploma or employable skills, isn't going to help her survive until the checks start. Are you expecting her to hold a part or full-time job along with being an influencer, until she moves out instead of being in school? I was thinking that $40,000 is a lot of money to get every year, but honestly in LA, she won't be able to buy a decent-sized home, or get a decent-sized apartment and still live comfortably. She most likely will be spending huge amounts of money on cars/clothes/parties etc., because that's what she will have to do to keep the momentum going. She won't be able to save much of the money. And when she is 30, she won't be able to keep making TikToks, and she won't even have a high school diploma to get a job with. YTA. It's one thing to have a backup plan, but that backup plan only guarantees her money until she's 30. And with the way the world changes so fast, she'll be a 30-year-old without a high school diploma, no job, or relevant work experience. You're effectively crippling your daughter at 16, and ensuring that you're going to be supporting her for the rest of her life, because you enabled these choices now. YTA. You allowed your child to drop out of high school and think that's okay? What happens when she turns 30 and the money runs out, she has no education, and TikTok has been shut down? Yeah, I was thinking drop out of university/college, not high school. High school is a bare minimum for education, and you're really failing your daughter to let her drop out to stare at a screen, instead of finish something so basic. Gosh, it's nuts. Are you secretly really hoping she gets famous or something? She's 16 and it's great to have passion, but you should also protect her. YTA. She'll get $40,000 a year for 10 years? Then what? Yes, school isn't everything, but at the very least she needs a GED to give her more options when she is older. $40,000 a year is decent money, but not something that you can actually bank on long term. YTA. You're not setting her up for lifelong success. $40,000 per year might sound like a lot, but it isn't enough to live a high-end lifestyle, and if it runs out when she's 30, she could end up outspending her earning abilities early on. No matter what career she ends up taking, not pushing her to finish a bare minimum educational standard could hurt her potential, and doesn't teach her foundations in discipline, accomplishing goals, etc. At 16, of course she won't think that's important. But as the parent, you should. I love pro-education. Who doesn't want their child to have an education? Oh. You. YTA. I don't believe being an influencer is going to help her goal of mainstream modeling and acting. When was the last time you saw an influencer doing anything but that? I think it will hurt her instead of help her. I can't believe you're this ridiculous. YTA. She needs her degree. Even as an actor or a model, having a high school degree opens doors for her as she starts to age out. If she's struggling in school, it would be far better for her to get the support she needs to succeed. YTA. Your daughter is going to grow up to be insufferable and spoiled. You're being a terrible parent. YTA. If she makes poor decisions and blows her trust fund, which many people do, and doesn't become a star, which most people don't, what does she have to fall back on? Not even a high school diploma. If she struggles socially, how is she going to be okay socializing with other influences, producers, casting agents? It sounds like she needs to see a therapist, not drop out. YTA. So she will have an average salary for 9 years. How do you think she is going to support herself for the other 80 years of her life without an education? She doesn't need to go to college, but she needs to finish high school and learn an actual skill that will support her. Being an influencer, God, I hate that term, should not be an acceptable alternative to that. YTA. You're the a-hole. You're allowing your 16-year-old to drop out. A lot of people commenting on the age, but I didn't see anyone catch how far behind she is already. You say she'd graduate in 2024. That means she'd be entering 9th grade this year. Your daughter, who you're allowing to drop out to attempt to be an influencer, has an 8th grade education. That's fucking shameful. What is she going to be doing for the next 5 years until she has access to the trust? How far do you think $40,000 a year gets you trying to live an influencer lifestyle in LA? And WTF is her plan when the gravy train runs out at 30, and she has a fucking 8th grade education? To piggyback off of this, how is she planning on managing her career as an influencer with an 8th grade education? She won't know how to read a contract, budget, pay taxes, or probably even make change at a part-time. She might be able to get an actual manager, but there are still a lot of things to handle herself, even if she becomes moderately successful. A lot of people with college educations can't manage all of this themselves. I can't even imagine someone trying to do it with only an 8th grade education. Especially somewhere like LA. Edit, YTA.